So we are starting episode 7 of Steadiocast, and this one doesn't have a topic.
Like the Star Wars movie, except that had a topic, but episode 7, get it? Never mind. It's not funny.
I might still go with introducing myself as Remy, but for the time being, I'm Nima.
I'm Remy.
Dude, before we even get started, you know what's this random thing?
We don't even have anything to start about.
Yeah, we do. We have quite a few things to go over. But you know what I was thinking about today? And this has nothing to do with anything at all. Like, you know how vampire they live on forever, right?
Yeah.
So if a vampire has sex with another vampire and they give birth to a child, is that child a vampire? Is it like AIDS? Does it get passed down?
Probably a vampire, like squared.
Really?
Just saying.
What did you think?
How did you come up with that question?
I don't know. I don't know who I was talking to at work, and the word vampire came up, and my thought just went to
vampires.
Can vampires have kids? And if they have kids, are they vampires? Are they regular people? Does that kid age then, or no? Is it infant forever?
That's a good question. No, the vampires can't have sex. They give up the whole sex thing just to live forever. That's what they can't.
Says
taste.
Who? I thought vampires were like
food.
extremely like sexual beings.
I guess so. That's
like what
the
every
whole vampire
movie
thing is never a very
probably because it's not real.
Consistent. Yeah.
I feel naked without my little bit of notes at least.
Here, have your notepad back.
Dude, I can't believe I lost that pen.
You'll find it.
Yeah, better find it.
So, I watched The Big Short.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
really good, right?
yeah, really good.
How incredibly attractive is what's her name? Something Meg, whatever her name is.
There was a chick in that movie.
There was a chick that explains one of the things from the crash.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, she's Harley Quinn. She's really attractive.
Yeah, she was hot in that scene.
She's overly attractive. Well, what did you think about The Big Short?
It was great. Great acting. Gosh, awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know how Christian Bale does a thing with his eye in that movie. I don't know if it's CGI.
No, it's probably. Oh, good question.
Or if they gave him a shot in every single shot that he was in to do a muscle relaxant. He does shit like that. He's really weird.
So good.
He's really good.
Like he's able to really embody every single role he does. Mm-hmm. And this one, it's like he's so believable.
As a genius doctor, yeah.
Everybody's thinking he's losing his mind, but he's like, no, I got this. Like that's what I do. I'm a pro at numbers. What's his name? The guy from The Office, of course. I forget his name all the time.
It's okay. I'm googling. I know who you're talking about. Steve or Martin? Something. That's totally not him. Steve Carell. Yeah.
So good.
Everybody in that movie was good.
Yeah, everyone.
And I love how at the end of it, every one of them reluctantly become millionaires.
Yeah, and they're like, fine.
Yeah.
I'll take the money.
Yeah, that movie was really infuriating, but it was actually really good.
Yeah. Some of the editing was kind of annoying to me. Like when they went in the beginning, especially when they went for like dark and then something and then dark, then something, then dark.
Well, like he's made comedies. Like this could be his first, like I would say almost serious movie, but it still had a lot of laughs.
There's some seriousness about it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, comedy about it. Ryan Gosling's character obviously
he's awesome.
The funniest one out of them. But yeah, no, I liked it. What else did I watch? I feel like I watched something else.
Go on.
Oh, well, the trailer that was released during the MTV Awards, I think. I think it was released then, maybe earlier.
For Star Wars?
No, for Suicide Squad.
Oh, that looks good.
And like you see Batman a lot.
You see a lot of Batman.
Yeah.
And one thing I've noticed, and I think a lot of people have noticed, it looks like a skinnier Batman. And everybody thinks that's just because whoever they use as a stuntman.
You can't tell. He's like
you can tell.
For half a second.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He was a massive presence in Batman versus Superman. Like him personally, Ben Affleck as Batman is a massive dude. Yeah. So you notice immediately that this guy is not as big. But that's only because it's a stunt double. So
maybe that story happens 20 years ago. And that's Batman's beginnings.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, so there's that.
That looked really good, and Joker looks insane, and I'm really interested now.
Yeah,
it looks
can't wait for that.
Like cheesy, and
it's gonna be funny.
Yeah,
a lot of comical relief. Mm-hmm. And then of course the Star Wars. We already talked about this last episode.
We can keep talking about it. So Darth Vader has to be in this one, right?
Yeah,
like chronologically.
he's gonna be in there.
And they say there's a shot of somebody kneeling, and they think that's probably Darth Vader. So here's
Why would he be kneeling?
because he kneels to the Emperor. The Emperor is still alive.
Right. Because that's before the New Hope.
Dude, the thing is, like, what if it's Hayden Christensen playing Darth Vader again?
Who's that?
The guy who played Darth Vader in the prequels.
Oh. Well, no, because by that time, Darth Vader is older. Because in the Return of the Jedi, when you see his face, he's an old guy.
Yeah, but you don't know when exactly this is happening.
Dude, this is right before New Hope. Because I think Leia in the New Hope says, we just got the plans for the Death Star. Mm-hmm. So I think it was like within the past year or two, maybe.
Before that movie. But you don't see Darth Vader's face until like the third movie, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And then between the first and third movie, like...
How many years has gone by?
I don't know, maybe 5 years
maybe
or something.
10
but
tops.
either way, like if they keep it to a minimum, that would be really cool if it is the same guy.
Yeah.
Because the girl that's wearing a white dress in that trailer, the one that's talking to the rebel, whatever her name is, she's apparently the same actress from the prequels as well.
I don't know.
So they have hired at least one person from the prequels. It's
like the Queen.
Is it the Queen? The lady that's wearing the white. I'll show you.
Yeah, I don't remember the white thing.
But honestly, that looked gorgeous.
Yeah,
and I'm excited about the way they're possibly doing it. And I thought it was going to be more about more people than just her. And I hope the actual movie includes more people. It has more focus of the group instead of...
Yeah, I'm sure.
Her name in the movies was Mon Mothma. She's the one that basically in the original trilogy, she's the one that talks about the plans. Like that's the lady that's talking about, hey, a lot of people died before getting these plans, blah, blah, blah.
In the original trilogy, she says that?
The character says that. So they have
it's a girl, it's a woman?
It's a woman.
So that's her story?
Not so, I guess so. It's about her command, I guess, over planning this whole thing. But the actress that they hired looks a lot like her, especially with the makeup and everything. And apparently it's the actress from the prequels as well that played the same character. So they have done it. What I'm saying is that they have...
prequel? Wait, that makes no sense.
Why doesn't it make sense?
You say the prequel as in episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Apparently this actress was in episode 1, 2, and one of those as this character.
And she's also in the New Hope?
No. Oh. The character isn't, but the actress isn't. But they look very similar apparently.
So slow.
Yeah.
The actress that plays Rey was asked if this new heroine in the Rogue Squadron movie is her mother. And she said something like it's not because she's white and has brown hair that she's my mother.
So she is her mother?
What? I just said.
So you just said it's not because she has brown hair and blah blah that she's my mother.
Yeah, Rey said that in an interview with the actress that plays Rey.
So that means she's not.
Like, probably
what are you
not.
Okay.
Probably not. But at this point, she's probably not allowed to say anything. But she did say that she doesn't know if she's a Jedi.
Oh, she doesn't know if she's a Jedi or not?
Yeah. And she said that episode 8 is going to be darker.
So doesn't everybody that has a Force is either a Jedi or on the other side?
Well, apparently I read something else that in the older Star Wars, and I think after the first movies came out, people made fan fiction and all that stuff. Yeah. And Spielberg wrote some stuff. There's
like the books and
there's
stuff.
There's a gray area between the light and dark Force.
Oh, okay. That would be cool. Yeah. I would like if they switch around the good and the bad. Yeah. And I really hope they do.
Again, I'm going to stick to my idea that maybe Rey goes close to being bad, and what's his face? Kylo Ren
becomes good.
Becomes closer to being good. I mean, he's like completely torn apart.
So I bought the digital version of the movie. Yeah. And it has a full like hour and a half long documentary with it. So I have to watch that. Nice. About the making of it.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited about it. Like once you told me how they use the plastic lightsabers that light up, I couldn't really picture what you were talking about until I saw like just a quick little gif of the behind the scene. That's really cool the way they did it. That's really awesome.
Then you get real light on the faces.
Yeah.
And you have close-ups in the movies.
And they hit each other with the sword, and it's really cool. Like the swords hit each other.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome the way they did it.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
That was pretty cool.
God, my phone is still
What about
updating.
Jeff Goldblum? Like I saw that written in your journal.
Yeah, but because he also signed on to be in Shane Carruth's next movie.
Oh, gotcha.
But what I was gonna say, Ewan McGregor. I was watching an interview.
he's so good.
He's so good. And the interview was basically about, hey, are you gonna do an Obi-Wan movie? What do you think about an Obi-Wan movie?
Right.
So they ask him a few questions, and he's very like smirky about it. He's just like, he's like, that would be cool. He's like, I would like that.
I would like that.
And then he's like, between episode 3 and 4, he's like, there's whole lot of story you can tell in that time for
I would
Obi-Wan.
like that.
And then they're like, so have you talked to the producers about it? He's like, I don't think I can talk about it. He's like, I don't think I'm allowed to say.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. And then they're like,
With a smirk on his face, I bet.
exactly. And he's like, he's joking about it. And they're like, you know, it would be, the interview asked, like, it would be really cool if they do something like Rogue One, where they do a movie about you. And then he jokingly says, or a trilogy. And I was like, what?
He's just joking about it. They wouldn't do another. Maybe they would do one as he gets older, like maybe 10, 15 years from now, when the actor is older, and they do one right before
he turns into.
Maybe they can do one about his whole exile.
Yeah, because
they should start now while he's still like younger.
Exactly.
Looking.
So that's actually one of the trilogy things, just because of how much I like.
What if they make one that's like? What if they make a first Obi-Wan movie now?
Yeah.
One 10 years later, and then one 20 years later.
Dude,
that ties into the New Hope.
They want to make as much money as quickly as possible. That's why we have a Star Wars movie every year.
Dude, Disney is gonna have they're gonna have a Star Wars TV show, dude.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep making, if all goes well, if they keep picking good producers, good directors, good everything, actors and all that, good script writing, they can like stretch that shit out for literally 20 years if they want to.
Yeah. One director already got fired for it though.
Already.
Yeah. Like that sucks. But apparently, I mean, his last movie was awful, so I can't even imagine why he stayed on for so long. So what else did I write? I don't know. There's a lot of things, but what do you want to talk about in our episode? It's about games and stuff. Like, we'll see if the conversation goes there.
I don't know. What else did I watch? I was trying to get a handle on Twitter and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. We have a Twitter for Steadiocast. We have
Twitter.
An Instagram for Steadiocast. Twitter. What? You can just say Division's a game. Don't worry about it. Stop looking at my notes.
Fine.
And get your face in the mic.
I don't know. Like,
so dude, we can talk about that. We're on episode 7.
Yeah.
What the hell have we learned in the first 6 episodes?
I don't know. What have you learned?
I want to focus on not interrupting other folks.
Yeah.
But if it's you, I feel like it's okay because we interrupt each other.
Well, if it's just us two.
Yeah.
Like last week was a 3-way and
it was a mess, but it was good.
No, it was not bad. I think you and Saro really talk well together. If anything, I've learned that I may not be cut for talking.
What?
Yeah. But I don't care. I'm still going to do it for the next year or 2 or whatever.
What makes you think you're not cut for cutting? Cut for
talking?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like with me, it's either I'm 100% in the moment and then conversations flow. I'm a great conversationist. Mm-hmm. But randomly, it could be the total opposite, and I don't know how to control that.
Or you have nothing to say, and you're just like sitting back.
Yeah, or something else is like clouding my brain or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what triggers it. Like last one with Sorrow, I didn't feel like saying anything. I was just like, but then by the end, I felt more loose, and I was like, oh, cool. Like I didn't take it so seriously, and then.
But also, I think that could be because, like, you have, like, aside from us two, you have zero exposure to cereal. So it's hard to partake in something that's so massive and so long.
I think I was interested in what you guys were talking about it.
But you would have more to say if you had even listened to a single or a few episodes at least.
Yeah. I think, we'll have the one for WoW with 4 people. We'll have one for gaming. But we should not do that many of the multiple.
I agree.
Just us 2 for a long time.
I completely agree.
And we're still going to do the WoW one because that could be fun. I like Joe. I like Ali. It'll be a fun time.
And you know what's funny about, I realized Ali started I'm going to pitch it. He started a YouTube gaming channel. So it's Stadio Gaming. Mm-hmm. So that'll be good. He plays like Counter-Strike and stuff. So whenever we do the gaming thing or the WoW thing, we'll pitch that too.
Yeah.
But he's barely home, so he doesn't even have time to stream that much.
What does he do now? Anyways.
He's like a pharmaceutical thing.
Oh,
yeah. So for people that don't know, I mentioned my brother. He's the other part of Stadio. If you go to the website and you see videos, he's produced like 99.9%.
He's really good. He's got a good eye. Mm-hmm. Good cinematographer.
Yeah. Between all of us, we're gonna take over the world one day.
By making a movie?
By making shit, dude. By making content. Like making
content.
things.
Yeah. But if we can
making media.
I want a story. I want to find a great story.
I want to write a great story.
Well, we already started doing that.
Yeah.
Haven't we?
Yeah, we have. And dude, that's one of the things I want to keep focusing on every few episodes.
Oh my God,
of the
have you seen the preview? Sorry, I cut you off, but
go ahead.
Have you seen this preview of this point of view movie?
Yeah. Hardcore Henry?
Dude.
Yeah.
First of its kind.
Yeah, and you know what's funny
brilliant.
about it is that it was made like as a fun thing. It was made
It looks great.
And it was one of the scenes that was made, and it's really awesome. And they released it on Vimeo and as a short film, and apparently it became popular enough that the studios were like, all right, we're going to greenlight making a whole movie out of this.
Whole movie out of it.
It looks amazing.
Because remember that first scene from the movie from the series that we wanted to start, the story that we started writing? Mm-hmm. I was like, man, it would look so much cooler if it was all first person point of view.
I agree.
I mean, but then at this
that's
point, are we
way.
copying because of this? Because I thought of this before, like a few months back. And now they're doing this, which makes sense because it's like awesome. Super new angle on things. First person movies. Great.
Yeah, but I feel like first person, it's a perfect fit for Hardcore Henry, depending on how it is.
Yeah.
It's good for that kind of intense action.
Can't be a love story because don't just get boring.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can use first person up until the point that we have like full on immersive virtual reality. It's hard to do.
The first episode
person
would be great first person.
But there's a lot of emotion and fear and suspense in that first episode that you and I have an idea.
But you can make that happen with
you think
the
so?
sound and, and the colors and stuff.
Yeah,
and then you can really draw someone into the story by like, okay, this guy is going through things, and then you can make it so that that person watching would do the same thing, and he's actually like there. Oh,
moving.
You should run to that door and make sure it stays closed. You know.
I feel like down the line, once we have, like, I want to use this podcast as a tool to keep building the stories that we have, and maybe even talk about them during the podcast. But I don't know if we should or not. The actual stories, because we have a few right now, and I want to keep working on building them.
What if we turn into some kind of like crowd fund?
Like
we talk about it and we explain things what we want to do,
and people give ideas about how. I don't know. When it comes to stuff like that, I'm a really control freak.
We gotta learn about NPR laws. Oh, not NPR laws. Duh. Copyright laws and infringement and stuff. Because I think as long as we talk about it right now and we post it,
then we own the idea.
Then
right?
It's ours. But again, there might be like way more subtleties about this kind of laws.
And we'll figure it out.
That's another thing. Like I need to improve my English.
Dude, the thing about English is, man, like read. Just keep reading.
Yeah, I know.
Then read on an ebook even. Because on the ebooks, you can just click a button.
I'd rather listen to audiobooks. That's what I've been doing. It's so much easier. I don't have time to read, dude. I'm a slow
I know.
reader.
And I completely agree. Audiobooks are a lot easier because you can have it in the background as you're working or driving, whatever.
Right.
But reading an actual, like reading the letters that put them together to words to sentences.
Yeah.
For you and I who didn't... We didn't
English
grow up,
is a second language.
Yeah, it's perfect for us because we can learn how to put together the definitions of it, all those things.
But again, there's some times where I'm so dead on in the moment that my English is perfect.
Yeah,
and I wanna capture that. I want to learn what makes me be that way, so I can always have great conversations. It's usually when I don't give a shit about anything.
Well, it's also when you're interested in the topic. I am going to cough and it's going to be loud. All right. Sorry for everybody. One of the things we were talking about interviews, and we have to figure out a way to do interviews like online and then record them. Like you and I are sitting here, somebody's sitting in California, and I imagine logistically it's got to be easy. We just got to figure out a way to do it.
I think it has, like, let's say we had someone on the computer. We'll have to find a way to route the audio from the internet to the software we're recording into.
That should be easy. I mean, you have the internet connection.
Yeah,
thing
but
on
I
the
don't know
laptop.
how to.
But we'll figure it out.
I hate that stuff, to be honest. I hate software. I hate computer stuff. I don't hate it. Hate is a strong word.
Yeah, but
it's
I
a
feel
necessity, but I just, what's the word? I really don't like it.
I know. It's just a tool, right? It sucks that you have to use it to get to the mean that you want.
Yeah, totally does.
But once we figure it out, there's a lot of interviews I want to do. Like I was watching this guy's video game stream last night, and his channel is called Simcopter 1, and he's a really Like I can't even begin to tell you how relaxed and positive this dude is.
When
Like
he talks, that's great, dude.
yeah, when he's talking, like it's so unlike everybody else that streams. Like he's positive. He tells his channel, "Let's talk." And like when it's like the episode I was watching last night, they were talking about mental issues and OCD and like having anxiety attacks and sleep paralysis. These are things that obviously when he's talking about it, he's becoming kind of vulnerable to share that information with the world. But it's in a very positive way. Like let's talk. You know, the connection that we have with other people, it's great. And it's a really unusual thing for video game streaming.
Right.
So it would be cool to do an interview with somebody like him and figure out how he got to where he is, because he streams overnight.
That's all he does. That's his life, right?
I think that's his life.
Like, I mean, how does he make money? Something like that? Advertisers?
Donations. And there's, he's what's called a Twitch partner. So every time somebody subscribes to him, he gets a portion of that subscription fee. Like, and then you negotiate that with Twitch, whatever it is.
And Twitch is strictly a gaming.
As of right now, it's gaming. It's owned by Amazon now. Amazon bought him last year, I think. But he also gets donations from his viewers. And the cool thing is like even the donations, like the episode I was watching, he was giving a portion of all of the donations away. Don't worry about me. He was giving it away to a charity. Yeah. And the viewers got to decide how much of it he gave away. I'm fixing my stand, and Remy's really worried about it, it looks like. So I want to do an interview with him to see where he got it, because he did city planning. Like that's what he studied and stuff, but now he does video games. And the funny thing is he does one of the reasons he became famous was for a game called City Skylines, where it's a city builder. And it's fascinating seeing somebody who...
Because he knows so much about it.
Yeah. And he role plays as if he's building in a real city. Like he's not doing it as if it's a video game.
Yeah, he's like, well, I need to do this because then this can work, or I can't do that because
exactly. And it's really fascinating.
The rules and all that. Like he knows all the codes and stuff like
that. Where the neighborhoods would go.
That's great.
It's awesome. But I want to do it just because of his personality. I want to see what it's like.
I think personality is keys in podcasts and audio content. That's not music. Like even I'm listening to audiobooks, like I said, and like some of them are really, the content is great of the reader book itself, but the reader is so important. Like you gotta have a lot of personality to make it more interesting. So I'm down to interview interesting people. I mean, obviously, duh.
No, but once we figure it out, we'll do more and more of them.
But 125 views or listens.
I know.
I mean, maybe the 3-second listens count too, though.
I don't know if they do. I honestly don't know.
People actually listen to our stuff an hour long.
I know, and it's 125 is such a low number compared to everything else that's out there. But it's amazing for us. I'm so happy about it.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested because last time we had a day with 0 views was last Wednesday, I think. 0 listens. I have to get 0 plays. Let's call it plays.
0 plays.
Yeah. I'm interested. This is fascinating. It's exciting. So we're going to turn this into a little bit of another thing. I wrote, so Ali, me, and Joe are playing Division. Yeah. It's an online...
What kind of game?
It's an online shooter, but it's basically...
Third person or first person?
Third person.
Third person,
yeah. But you have a good portion of New York City, and it's made like proportional to New York City. So it's pretty big, actually. And then basically a disease took over the world... And in that portion of the city, you're killing gangs, if I'm not mistaken, like different kind of gangs, and there's boss levels. So it's basically player versus environment in that portion of the city.
Yeah.
And then there's a bigger portion of the city right in the middle. That's, I would say, probably 40% of the map that's closed off. And if you go within that area, it can become player versus player and player versus environment. So there's other people there that you're trying to survive, basically. And it's pretty cool.
I think you told me about this game a long time ago.
Yeah, but the way they announced it and the way they released it, it's a completely different thing. It's a letdown versus what they wanted to do in the first place. But it's made by Ubisoft, and they've been a disappointment for years now.
You were telling me about a story about some kind of rat or something. The first time around, you told me about this game.
I don't remember.
Like that was like at least a year or two ago.
Oh yeah, this game was announced like 3 years ago.
Like you have to survive and you have to like hide and I don't know. Just some weird.
I don't remember what I said years ago.
You find the weirdest. you tell me about the weirdest game things.
But this game that I want to get back into is called Elite Dangerous, and I told you about this where you have our known galaxy is made within this game, and it's the size of it is just unbelievable. And what you do is basically you're a ship commander, and you would do as you see fit as a ship commander. Like you can just go mining, you can go do trades, you can go kill players.
That's cool.
It's insanely immersive. Like once you get into it,
what's it called again?
Elite Dangerous. It's made by a company that's been doing this kind of games forever, but it's fascinating.
Again, these games, I'm like, whatever.
Dude, it's there's not much story. I mean, there's background story happening.
Oh, there's not much story?
No, it's you. Like they literally go like, all right, here's the universe. Like,
yeah, but how many things have they put into the universe?
Like, here's the thing, and this is the fact. It has something like 500 billion stars, and each one of those stars has planets circling it and all those things. And with the last major update was called Horizons, I think. They made the planets landable. So imagine you have the universe. Now you can go on each planet, and the planet is the size of a planet. So you can never even fully.
Yeah, but how do they construct the whole thing?
It's a lot of it is procedural. And like basically,
this should involve a lot of people. They should make a game like this where here you want to play this game. It's like $10 to start. Here's the planets that we have created, but they're just planets. You can go on that planet and create that planet any way you want. You can change the atmosphere, and then people need this to get in there.
You're saying actual players get to decide?
Each player, they build their own planets, and then the goal is to survive or conquer.
I think they're gonna have bases and stuff added to it, but
because then it make it easier for the game developer to.
Well, that's why they have procedural.
What is procedural?
Procedural means you tell a computer the basic math, the way planets should be, and you tell the computer to take over, and the computer creates those planets.
Thousands of them.
Yeah, that way they don't have to spend the artist time and stuff making it. And there's another game which I wrote down. It's called No Man's Sky. That game is completely procedural, meaning every ship, every gun, every being on a planet, everything is completely procedurally
computer
made.
generated.
Yeah, and that game is also massive. I'm pretty excited to play that one because you can literally go down to the planet level, do all these things. You can kill off the whole living.
Yeah, but how do you talk? Like, does the computer tell each character you're gonna talk this way? You're gonna like be that good at shooting? Like, how does that?
Well, that's basically like as far as the accuracy of the guns and stuff. I'm not sure how RPG related, meaning how like skill related to a character it is, or if it's just simply because it's a first person shooter, that one. So if it's based on the skill of the actual player itself, that if a player can aim well, maybe the character can aim well and shoot. But the interesting thing about it is that once you come down to the planet level, let's say if you can kill off a whole living organism within that planet, that organism within that planet's dead. You can dig up and then you can keep flying forever and then go find another player's planet and interact with them. I'm fascinated that gaming is coming to this level now.
Yeah.
That's just so massive and so huge. It's just hard to even comprehend.
I mean, even WoW is hard to comprehend for me.
Yeah.
I mean, why have a whole other life in a video game?
In a virtual.
Because I mean, if you're playing the same video game 2 hours a day for like a good 10 years of your life, that becomes part of your life. Like you have created a different side of your life. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just here trying to grasp like my own life. Why would I want to spend hours escaping? Sure, escaping is great, but I wouldn't do it that way. That's not me. I guess a lot of people like it.
A lot of people do like it, and it's just like I don't think I can invest that much of time into it.
Yeah.
Like
then how could you really enjoy it?
I can enjoy things in short.
You can appreciate it.
Yeah.
That it's made and all that.
Yeah, but also as I'm getting older, I can't spend that much time playing a game.
Right.
Like I can't get myself to play that much. But once something that I'm super excited about comes out, I will spend hours. Like when GTA 5 came out, I spent hours playing that.
What's the next game that you're looking forward to?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Maybe No Man's Sky. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, it's those games are so like broad and different. It's
Maybe
like
Battlefield.
I don't even know. Oh yeah, Battlefield is definitely something I'm gonna look into when it comes out. I'll have to get an Xbox for it.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about getting an Xbox just so I can go back and just have my computer just for work.
Dude, I miss that. I miss playing on the Xbox online Battlefield. That's fun.
No.
It's just fun. I love these kind of games. Anything else is like, I love any games that I can go in there and like right off the bat, action, whether it's Geometry Wars or Battlefield, like I like that. I can play for 5 minutes and I'm satisfied.
You know what? What's the next game? If it gets announced this year, which would be in the next 3 or 4 months, it's Red Dead Redemption 2. If that comes out, I'm super excited. Not so much for the story, but for the online play.
If it's such a big that game Redemption, what is it
Red
called?
Dead Redemption? But I assume Red Dead Redemption.
Why would
2
they
is
make
gonna
a
be called
second
something.
one? Why do they? Why
This
didn't
was
they
already a
just
sequel.
expand? Why didn't they just expand the world that was already created for the story?
So much for the story, because Red Dead, whatever the first one was, and Red Dead Redemption are the only thing that's similar about them. I believe it's the fact that they're set in the West.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the story is completely new. So I assume they'll do
Okay.
the same thing for whatever the next
All
Red
right.
Dead is. But also, like, technically speaking, apparently making that game was really hard for Rockstar.
The second one?
No, yeah, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Meaning that whoever the original studio was working on it, it was a mess. They had to close up all the rest of the studios and work
Okay.
on this one. And the code is such a mess that apparently it was, they can't continue that same world over again. They had to build another game, which is good because that one was old technology.
I wonder if the Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens games is going to be fun.
All the Lego games are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dumb fun though.
Yeah. Well, I need to sell the PS4.
Yeah, you do. But we already have the mic.
Well, I know, but it's just sitting there.
You can sell it for cocaine.
I don't do cocaine.
Speak for yourself. I'm kidding. I totally don't do any
Druggy.
One of the theories I read last night, this is totally random. Joker in The Dark Knight is a war veteran. That's why his face is like that, and that's why he's all PTSD crazy.
I thought he tells the story of his dad cutting his mouth open or
No,
something.
he tells
right?
like totally different stories.
What?
So you don't know which one's the real one,
Oh, interesting.
or any of them are real at all. Go on.
How did you? Who came up with that theory?
I don't know. It was a video on YouTube that was talking about the most famous movie theories out there, and it was one of them was the Dark Knight theory. You know what I'm going to get into, and especially if we get our own space for recording these things.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into buying movie prop replicas.
Oh yeah, to make it look cool around here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just to have cool things because
That's for the video podcast.
not even that,
Eventually.
I want it, like, if I could afford one that's really decent, I've always wanted to get one. Like there's a few, like the Blade Runner, God, I think it's called the Repeater or whatever. The gun that the guy has in Blade Runner, there's a few people that make a really nice version of it. That's awesome. Like it's made out of metal and you just get to hold it and the parts move. And
That's cool.
I want to find some cool things to get just so we can have like some things around here once we have a space for our own and
once we make videos too.
once we make money.
So I talked to a guy next door.
Yeah.
He said that if the other band that leaves, because they're thinking of doing that, it's only $150, and it's really clean there because they're pros. They're touring, so they don't want a messy band. I'm like, what about
$150 a month?
Yeah.
Let's do
What about if we always have a table there with our mics just for a podcast? It's like, yeah, that would work, man.
Would we be sharing the room with somebody?
Would be sharing the room with them, but they're only there like once, twice a month, so it wouldn't be hard to schedule and make sure, hey, we're gonna go there in 3 days. Are you guys gonna be there? And most likely it's gonna be like, no, we're good. We'll be there.
Oh, I thought you said once they leave the contract, we can take it over for
No,
$150.
they've been in that room for they've been in this building for 6 years.
So they're gonna continue
stick
staying
around,
there.
Yeah. And if
Oh,
we
I
only
see.
have a table, and the room is always clean. Like it's cleaner than here, and I like that. And then we can leave that set up all the time. But it's all the way here, and I still would have to drive all the way here.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is, I've looked everywhere, and for those that don't know, we're in Phoenix, Arizona, and I honestly can't find any place that.
no, we're in Tempe actually.
No, I'm saying, but
We want to go to Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
As far
For
as Phoenix
people that listen
metropolitan.
from shout out to people listening from the
Germany,
Netherlands,
yeah.
Germany,
you guys are awesome.
Brazil.
I kind of want to. It's so awful, but I would love to build an international viewer base as opposed to an American one.
Well, we have, yeah. Well, I mean, I think 20% of the plays are from
International.
outside of the US.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Did you said you sent a Star Wars one to your friend in France, right?
Yeah.
Did he get back to you?
No, not yet.
Oh, God.
He's busy.
What friends are these?
The good one.
Dude, my notes are over, so it's chit chat time.
I can't believe you brought notes.
Dude, I have a whole nother notes for questions that I want to ask the guy in the interview if you ever do it.
Oh.
I'm sorry I brought notes.
No, it's all right. Don't do that again.
I won't ever. So this is now that my bullshit's done with all the notes. This is supposed to be our chit chat.
We've been chit chatting the whole time.
I would like to keep talking about what we're going to do with the podcast.
I want to eat and drink right now. Like, because every time we do that, we have great conversations.
I know.
Let's just take that whole table to the bar out there.
So your bar idea wasn't so bad. The sushi place.
Yeah.
But
But I don't want to set up all this because they're going to be like, what are you guys doing?
We can ask them. Maybe they'll be okay with it. Maybe we can set up in the back.
Dude, maybe we can find a place that let us do that once a week.
The sushi place.
I'd be so down.
The sushi place.
Man, we'd have to eat the same freaking food every week, though.
Then what are you talking about?
Well, what if we feel like having a burger that night, you know?
I don't know. But it's going to be also loud.
No. These mics are dynamic microphones. They're good.
All right. They're good.
They're good. They don't pick up too much of the room sound around us. Our mouths are so close to them that even if some people are sitting like 10 feet away, 5 feet away, it won't pick them up. That like it's cool. It's actually might create some cool ambient.
I was gonna say the room sound might be really cool. Actually,
yeah, it might. So we could try that eventually within the next few months.
Dude, what if I call them up? How much? Do you remember how much we spent at that place?
I think it was like $20 each.
Yeah, that's not bad. We ate a lot of food.
Yeah,
that was happy hour,
and then we drank too.
Yeah, we did.
Our conversations always go awesome when we eat and drink.
Yeah, but that's from the point of the people that are drinking. That's true. Who cares?
Who cares? I wish I was drinking right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So Sarah and I were talking. He's super inspired.
Yeah, he looked really inspired.
Yeah, and he's gonna get a small setup, like a 2-microphone cheap beginner setup, and he's gonna start doing it at his house
by himself.
He's gonna have people over and talk to them.
Cool.
And but he wants to be the moderator. Like he wants that to be his own, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah. Hey, we motivated.
And he's really good at talking, dude. So I believe he's gonna like do something great like within the next few years if he starts
doing this.
So if you're listening, Saro,
does he even listen?
I don't know.
You should drop every friend that doesn't listen to us.
No, I'm kidding. Like I don't even listen to our podcasts.
Yeah, I think that's weird that you don't listen.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't because I I'll get super self-conscious probably.
Why?
I don't know.
You should stop caring.
I don't listen, and we've posted them, so I don't really care. I've listened to them like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. Like I listened to the Star Wars one all the way. Finally, it was cool.
You did?
Yeah, but not right off the bat. So I can step back from that, like my state of mind from that week and stuff, because that changes throughout the weeks and stuff.
Oh sure, your thoughts change about it. Yeah. So which one? Oh man, as far as recording it, which one did you like the most?
Oh, probably still Star Wars,
because it was the first one, and
Up from Color was cool too. Batman vs Superman was really good too. I thought.
Yeah.
I like that one.
But that one had a really cool structure, which we might go back to it every once in a while.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Well, because we should do more movies that just come out. I think that's good. And then
but it costs a lot more, like logistically.
We should do like 15 minutes before we go see it, like just like Batman vs Superman. That was fun.
All right.
And like we had plenty of things to like pack into the first
part of it.
First part, and then when we came back from the movie, we were able to discuss the movie right away, and that was good.
I'm trying to see if it's anything's coming up. Oh, we could do Hardcore Henry. That's coming out this weekend, I think. But yeah. I'm trying to see. This mic is so.
We don't have an episode for next week.
Massive. We don't. Let's plan it right now. Let's
do that.
Let's figure it out. So next week, actually, this is
do movie.
Probably. So this one is going to go up next week.
Should we talk about the elections?
Like politics?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how sad it is that Bernie probably won't win. But
yeah. What was I seeing this morning about the whole Wyoming thing?
He won Wyoming by 12%.
She got more delegates.
But she got more delegates.
Okay.
I think that's based on the counties that she won. Those counties had more delegates.
They need to change that whole system.
I agree. The whole system's completely messed up. And it's the same. if I'm not mistaken, it's the same on the Republican side. As much as I hate Trump, and like it's a free country, you can support whoever you want to, but it's really scary time when Trump is as popular as he is. It's terrifying for the rest of us.
I was asking my friend Ed in France when we Skyped the other day. What's up, dude? And I was like, so how do they look at the whole Trump thing unraveling?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, it's a little scary.
But even in Europe, they have a whole right-wing nationalist movement.
Yes. Yeah.
Becoming
But
more popular.
from there, I think what he was trying to tell me was the fact that a lot of people are for him, despite his weird rhetoric and the things he's saying and the way he's carrying himself. They're like, wow, American people are...
either dumb or just crazy backwards, and just, it's embarrassing, dude.
It's embarrassing for people like
just remember, we live in a state that, if I'm not mistaken, he won overwhelmingly.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, there was no. I was not surprised when I saw that he won Arizona. I was like, yeah, obviously. Obviously, he won Arizona. Like
I'm a super leftist Democrat, liberal, and I like free things as long as it enables a culture, the society, all of these things.
Right.
And those are usually liberal ideas. But man, this year I'm rooting for a Republican the party to get their shit together, so it's not Trump that's representing them.
I mean, Ted Cruz is not that good either, man.
He's still just evil and awful and backwards.
I don't know about evil
science
and stuff. Again, like I'm reading this book right now. I think it was written like in the 20s or 30s, and this guy's saying that like it's human nature that no one thinks they're doing something wrong. Like you can ask a murderer, why did you kill those people? And some of them will be like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, and that's okay. That's their own thing. Like, obviously it is wrong what they did to society's standards, but every man has, can justify their actions. And people like Ted Cruz or Trump, they're justifying their actions just fine. And a lot of people are like carrying along like, yeah, he's in the right. No problem. I'm voting for him. That's weird. And it's kind of scary. And I'm not surprised that other countries and the people, just the regular people like me and you living there, are like, what is going on? Like the US being such a big economy and country the world cannot like afford this crap. Like
I think it's becoming obvious to the rest of the world, and actually to Americans as well, that our political system doesn't care about actual Americans. It's mostly about money and corruption and shitty things like that. Like the fact that we were having a discussion about whether or not healthcare is a right. It's insane.
Yeah, but don't take it too far, because again, there's always going to be thousands of people in the way telling you you're wrong. Like this happens because of this reason. This is not right because of that, and you're gonna have people on both sides are telling you why they're right, and they have the right to feel that way. Like I hate saying that, like, but it's true. Like it's weird, but it's true.
I agree. Man, why can't I find movie times for what's coming?
like I hate the fact that a lot of the right people, the right wing people, are like, no, we can't have someone like Bernie winning, because then, like, even someone like me who's only making so much money a year, I'm not bringing close to $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
I read this thing, like, if let's say Bernie does win, sure, he has some really left ideas, socialism. He's like, that's what he's saying he's doing. But his tax structure wouldn't affect me until I make $250,000.
Correct.
I'd pay the exact same taxes. So why are so many freaking people making even less than me, are saying, no, you can't win because then I'm going to have to pay more taxes?
Because we have, in this country, somehow we're insane, and we think,
stupid.
Yeah, we think paying taxes is a bad thing, and we have somehow our culture is based around individualism, meaning me as an individual, even if I'm poor, I'm going to imagine as if I was rich. I'm going to imagine as if I was paying that much. And yeah, that sucks if I'm paying more. Honestly, when it comes to big society, like, we need to get our shit together and realize, who gives a fuck? Rich people make more. They need to pay their share of taxes. So as a society, as a whole, we can be successful. We can keep moving forward. This whole idea is that, like, for being poor, you get punished so much more just for simply being poor. Like,
what do you mean punished?
Like, it's set up in a way that if you don't make enough money, you're probably going to be staying that way and not making enough money. The struggle for you to even get to middle class is becoming harder and harder and harder as the time goes. And it's just,
some people will argue with you that some of the reasons, and again, they might be wrong, because some of the reasons some of these people in the lower class can't make it to middle class is because they're not smart enough to handle themselves. Now, they can say that, it makes sense, but then if you look deeper into it, they're born into circumstances that don't let them get smarter.
correct.
And so they can't make it.
Or if you talk about when you think about it that way, you realize the gentrification, the ghettoization of neighborhoods, and that's making black people a lot worse off than white people, and white people move away if a black neighborhood becomes, it's just sad. And all those things
it's all messed up, dude.
And honestly, I was thinking about doing a piece for Steadio, and I'm going back and forth if I should do it. And I feel like aside from all those things, we also as a country have a religion problem, that there's a church on every single corner, and all these churches are getting tax breaks.
And
when as a whole,
millions,
and
billions.
We have people that are poor in this country. Let's get that shit fixed, and then maybe give them a tax break after that.
Like I posted a thing on one of the last thing I posted on Facebook before I really kind of stopped going on it and posting things was a meme of some sort where it's like, oh, you built mega churches for all the people, and you guys go pray and take money from those people. How about you just build giant buildings for homeless people to live in instead?
Seriously,
that's way more Christian.
Absolutely.
Like, hello.
And you know what? That's one of the things that drives me nuts about the right wing, is because they've tied themselves so much to the evangelicals in this country, and they go based on their Christian values and bullshit like that, which they don't believe. Fuck them. They cheat on their wives, and that's not a Christian value. And they treat the poor awfully. They treat gay people awfully.
None of this is Christian value.
Like up until the 50 years ago, it was the same group that didn't want black people marrying white people. Like, how is that a Christian thing?
Being part of the church helped them, maybe
get votes.
Sure. I'm not even talking about politicians. I'm talking about like people who are wealthy, who go to church and are probably not better than me and you, and probably worse even. Mm-hmm. I understand how faith can help you through struggles and help you like build a business, because you're really like, positive thinking. Like you go pray, you talk yourself into like the good things happening. I have no problem with that. Religion is great for that. But again, don't say you're a Christian if all you care about is money, and that's the one thing that helps you, get wealthy. Like, come on.
I agree. And
there's another thing, what you were saying like 5-10 minutes ago. I don't think like no one's ever made the whole like a graph of like, okay, this is how much money you need into this society anywhere in the world to live long and prosperly, and because that's never been done, also because it cannot be done because the world is such a different place. That's why people are like really rich people don't care about the down people. They don't want to share because they're like, I want to do stuff. I want to travel the world. I want to live somewhere where I know I'm going to be free from any bad things that could happen. Like, sure, that's cool, but you really need like $10 billion for that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Therefore, get taxed more.
Yeah,
you don't need that money.
You're still going to be
you only have like
rich.
30 years to live. Like, sure, you want your kids to be well off. Your kids don't need $10 billion. Mm-hmm. Your kids need food and education, and they need to like figure life on their own. Like maybe, and again, a lot of the rich people, they didn't get rich by themselves. They've been in families that have been rich forever. Yeah, so they don't know the struggle. I'm not saying I do, but I'm figuring. I'm like trying to buy a house right now. Like, it's not easy. I got to save. I got to make sure I budget my time properly. I still need to make time for fun things like this podcast,
But honestly, like when you think about it, and I don't want it to be a thing that's against rich people, because if you're wealthy, you can still be like Bill Gates and give all your money away.
Not.
But if you're honestly to the point that you're so wealthy, and you have so much in your life, and you can look at the people that have so little, how can you live with yourself? How can you be like, you know what? I don't want to be taxed more. Like we have roads that are falling apart. We have a shitty healthcare system. Yeah. How can you be like, you know what? Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
It's this whole idea of individualism that's so pathetic in our country. Yeah. And like at some point we have to wake up, because otherwise we're going to be destroyed.
Oh, it's happening. No one's ever going to wake up, dude.
Like, but the thing is, like, you look up north, Canada's getting their shit together. Canada's like, you know what? We're going to hire somebody that, dude, their prime minister ran on the idea is like, you know what? we're going to run a deficit for our budget. We need to spend more money than we're getting in because our country.
They're fixing infrastructure and health and stuff.
Yeah, and they're providing more things for the society because he's like, we need to spend the money and we need to spend less money on wars. And he won overwhelmingly.
Do you think what's going on here is like the byproduct of years and years of capitalism?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
It's this whole idea, and I honestly, like, I know I have friends at work that I truly respect, and they're Republicans, and it drives me nuts that people keep bringing up Reagan, because Reagan was one of the starting points about when our country got fucked. It's not only so much the lies that he said that apparently nobody wants to listen to about how he treated Jimmy Carter, which, agree with him or not, Jimmy Carter is a great human being, especially after he left the presidency. But there was a lot of corruption about how he handled, and the Republican Party handled, Jimmy Carter when he was in office, especially with the hostage situation in Iran. But then after that, like, we became a really corrupt country, and we shifted our focus away from the middle class to being like, you know what, if we take care of the rich, hopefully this was the lie that they told him, the money will trickle down to everybody else.
Maybe someone was really thinking hopefully this would happen.
But it's never happened.
Well, that doesn't mean someone lied at the beginning.
But can we move on from it at this point? Can we realize that, you know what?
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, screw you. You need to pay more taxes. And at the same time, I totally understand some of the people's way of thinking, as in a lot of people live, and they can live a lot better, but they live like shit. And they need to get their shit together. Even if they don't make that much money, that's no excuse for living the way you are.
Correct. And it's about how you spend the money and how you...
Yeah, be smart with your money.
Correct.
Like, don't fucking go clubbing every weekend.
I agree, but that's also part of
the
society.
Middle class.
But that same argument is used by a lot of people that say, hey, I'm against food stamps because somebody's going to use the food stamps to go get steaks. There's a whole bunch of things I have a problem with that because, A, if you're poor, doesn't mean you're no longer a human being. You get to enjoy some nice things. So if somebody wants to have steak, let them have steak. It doesn't matter. But B, as a whole, let's say if we expand social programs to the point that, I don't know, like Canada or some European countries, we guarantee basic income. Meaning if you're a citizen and you can't even find a job, the governments will still take care of you, meaning give you some income so you can live, pay for your kids.
Sure, that's great. But there's people out here that don't even want to do that. They are completely okay sitting on their ass at home watching Netflix, getting paid by the government.
Yeah, but
that's wrong.
I agree that's wrong, but we can't use them as an excuse not to help the whole society.
No, and again,
people will commit fraud, people will take advantage of the system, but that's another problem to have while we still have this massive problem that nobody wants to talk about. That, like, we're still, especially with Trump becoming famous, we should know that at this point, we're still a fully racist country. We're really homophobic. We hate the poor. We want to, if you're poor, you hate the poor.
Again, it's the international countries looking at us and just getting one gist of it. Because the problem is that this country is too big.
I agree.
Too many cities, physically too big. It takes a big portion of the earth. That's great. USA, America, great. I'm happy I live here. But how do you expect people from one side to agree with people on another side, and then the people in the mountains, and then people down south where it's hot? And like, you can't. It's too freaking big. And every single one of these like people within their cities, there's problems as well.
I agree, but I feel like
communication doesn't really work that well between everyone as far as government and politics.
I think you're right. I think it is too big, and there's a lot of differences. But on some things, we can come together and agree on shit. Like, here's the thing. Like, Bernie Sanders is a good example. He's fully leftist, but he also can't be against gun laws because he says he represents a rural state. He's like, the people in my state have guns. They need guns because they don't live in a city of like LA. He's like, they live in where it's miles away from your neighborhood.
Like rural.
Yeah. He's like, even if I'm against guns being out there he's not
going to try to...
Yeah, he's like, the people that voted me in office need their guns. He's like, I can't be against it in a way that like somebody like Hillary Clinton, who's from New York, is like strongly against guns. Like, there are things in our country... Do you think
someone like Hillary Clinton understands that in places like Vermont, people need their guns in their houses to be safe? Like, that's true.
I think she does.
Those people can actually be like, I need a gun to be safe.
Yeah.
But when you got like jackasses around our town that need a gun to be safe... I don't know, man. Some people here are scary. They're like, they have a gun just because they're hoping some shit's going to go down so they get fire and shoot someone.
So they can be a hero and like, I completely agree.
So they can shoot someone. There's people out there who just want to shoot people.
I agree. And that's a scary thing.
Yeah, that's scary.
Like there's a lot of other countries that have guns out there, but somehow we have this problem that we're this insane country that keeps killing its own people. Like this is one of the things I was going to talk about last episode, and
you're not even talking about like terrorism or ISIS.
No, just
you're talking
regular
about
people
that lose their mind and go shoot a school. Yeah,
like
Columbine and all that stuff.
Like we had a representative in our own state that was doing a small little town hall in Tucson, and this kid walks up to her and shoots her in the back of the head and shoots a whole bunch of people. I'm glad she's still alive, but the thing is, like we went to Chicago, and everybody, doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, everybody keeps talking about how Chicago is so shitty because the murder rate is high.
South side of here.
Yeah, South side is pretty bad. And they keep making jokes about, look at Chicago, you can't even own a gun there, and still the crime rate is high. And they don't realize that, like, up until, I want to say less than a decade ago, there was a court case that finally finished this year, if I'm not mistaken, that they realized the Chicago PD was literally grabbing black people off the street. They're like, hey, there was a murderer. I'm going to grab this black guy. We're going to torture him to the point that he confesses to the murder.
That's been happening?
It's been happening. Like,
see, that kind of shit. Why is this stuff happening? What's wrong with people?
And I thought that was such a distant thing until literally on Thursday, I was talking to my coworker who was sitting next to me, and she's like, yeah, my dad was tortured and he spent 35 years in prison. He just got out last year because of this court case. Because they were like, the only reason he confessed to the murder is because he was tortured. And
now, why are the cops doing that? What is their motives?
So that's the thing. The people of Chicago
scared, and that's why they're doing this. Like, what?
I don't know, but like, how can you be against? Like, how can you say why is this city so like violent when you know the police department that you're supposed to trust has been treating its own citizens that way?
Yeah, but again, that's bad. Again, it adds to the whole theory that everything's crumbling, because if you start not being able to trust the police, then people are going to take matters into their own hands.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Is what someone like Trump is pushing for.
Yeah, but that's also what gangs are doing. They're taking things in their own hand, and they're killing off their own people again.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of problems in our country. I think we have a lot of, like, idealistically, we can be the most amazing country in the world if we get there. It's not.
The only way things are going to change is literally like bad shit happening, people dying left and right, and survival of the fittest. This is what I think is going to happen here within the next 20 years.
I agree. I think that there's going to be some sort of a civil war like that.
I'm out of here, dude.
Dude, I'm strongly thinking about Canada, but like the fact that Trump keeps dropping messages about, hey, if I'm not picked as a Republican nominee, there's going to be
but he already said he's going to run as an independent.
No, he's saying that. He's like, oh, there's going to be riots. Yeah, and he's not saying that because he's predicting the future. He's dropping messages for his followers that you should get angry if I'm not. Like, why are we such an angry country now? Like we love wars, we love killing people, and now all of a sudden we love our politicians to be angry too.
It's all that is tied with the media that we've been eating for the past 50 years, like the progression of TV and radio. Like, look at content on TV now. Like, most of it is violence driven, sex driven, and bad shit happening to people driven.
But all those things, like even sex is treated as a taboo, where in Europe sex is treated as a way of life. And
is sex really treated as a taboo
here?
Like, yeah.
Is it? It's
dude, there's like billions of people, not billions, but millions of people like watching porn.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
There isn't. It's healthy.
Sure, but again, like, so what can they say? Why can you say that it's a taboo here? Where did you hear that? I've heard that before, and it always boggled my mind. Like, is it really taboo? It's like one of the most sexified country on earth, I bet. Like, why is sex a taboo? Why do people keep saying that?
I think that's the exact example of why it's a taboo, because we make it into a thing where it's just a human nature thing. Where it's like you can't openly, especially like you don't know because you haven't worked in corporate America or anything, but like you can't talk about sex in a regular way anywhere.
Right.
Like it's one of those things that either people giggle about or you shouldn't say those things, or in the rest of the world they're like, this is like.
Well, when you're in business environment, sure, business is the only thing you should be talking about.
Well, not even like out in public. It's like we've come to a point. And I don't know why, maybe it's because of religious folks that don't even want to talk about sex and human evolution, that somehow sex has become this thing. So they put it in shows to get attention. They put in advertising to grab eyes and all those things.
All about attention.
And it's just like, why?
Like I said, the media has shortened people's attention span over the past decades.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons. And I'm not saying anybody's doing that on purpose to numb and make the American people dumber and dumber.
Probably
it's just, I believe that's a byproduct of capitalism. Again, money-driven economy is bound to hurt our human nature down the road. What else is there? Like the media is the biggest thing. Like I'm afraid. I have kids in this country because right now, the 8 years old, 10 years old are exposed to weird shit. I don't know how else to call it. In music, in TV shows, and in movies. Just weird.
Yeah.
Not everywhere. There's some good stuff out there, good content out there, but the majority of content is trying to make money.
Yeah.
And therefore, they're just putting stuff out there that they know is gonna. It's like the whole advertising industry. That's even worse. All these have you seen movies like Super Size Me? You must have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great right there. Like tailored to kids. Drink this shit. Eat this sugar. Bug your parents about it, and you'll be happier.
And you get a little toy in your package and all that shit. Yeah.
And the progression of that has been it's just happening. It's still happening. But I think, and I'm hoping that people become more health conscious. That's another big thing. Like the whole health industry is not helping. It's a lot of things happening at once that are deteriorating our human nature. I don't know how else to say this.
Like when it comes to health, at least our generation, which is a huge generation group, and it's not just one year or something. The millennials do care more about their health than the previous generation did, which is a good thing. But we also have this whole bullshit of fads, like if you're gluten free, there are people that actually have the allergic reaction to gluten, and that's a very small portion of our population.
Yeah.
So this whole fad is working out for them because they have more options. But every other idiot who's going for a gluten-free diet, they don't realize that there's nothing healthy about a gluten-free diet. It just means you're not having that kind of flour, and you're an idiot because the rest of us are having regular wheat flour, and it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
I think it's
like GMO-free. I can't believe as a society we're even talking about GMO being a negative thing. Since when?
And we kind of have to, right?
Why? It's science.
And
we have to. It needs to be genetically modified.
We have to
by
deal with the weather and the pests and all that
exactly.
stuff.
Are we all of a sudden going to stop eating strawberries because it's not in season in Arizona? We need to accept that science has made our food better and accept it.
Sure, but I agree with that. But back to the strawberries in Arizona.
Yeah.
When it's off season.
Yeah.
Sure. First of all, I don't even think you can grow healthy strawberries out here. I might be wrong.
Probably not. There's some weird things you can grow. You can grow lettuce here.
I do believe that, this is things that's starting. Like Mariah told me about this. Just the cost of moving all this shit to places that don't grow these things, like strawberries in here.
You're right.
That's bad for the environment. Period. That is bad for the environment unless we find a way to haul things without, hurting the atmosphere. So I'm for let's
doing
just
things
eat what
seasonally.
can grow here.
Yeah.
You want to live in the desert, you want to come out here and live in the desert, that's fine. The winters are great. You just eat stuff that's grown here so that it's better for the environment.
Yeah, but I like the idea of that movement is called the farm to table. Basically,
the local.
Yeah, whatever that's in the farms, that's what the restaurants have. That's what the grocery stores have.
The
I
farms
like
within
that idea.
100-mile radius or something.
Yeah, but that means everybody has to move to the coasts. Everybody has to go to Midland or to the coast because here in Arizona,
you can't. Again, I'm still boggled. Why did people start moving to Arizona? One thing I've heard was during the gold rush era. The government was actually paying people to go out here to live so that they can, figure out how big this country is and how they can govern it.
Correct.
Great. That makes sense. But now it's becoming one of the, Scottsdale is famous.
For what though? It's so sad.
It's just a prestigious new Beverly Hills kind of place, I guess. Maybe I'm far off, but I know it's prestigious and it's
you're right.
The name itself is you
it's
start
pretentious
hearing,
at least.
You hear Scottsdale in movies, TV shows now. Oh, my sister went to Scottsdale. Okay, great. What's cool about the desert? Nothing.
Dude,
place sucks. We waste water on golf courses for you rich bitches to golf.
It's insane. And the more you think about it,
okay,
our
I'm sorry
capital,
I said that. That was not really nice.
No, we have way too many golf courses.
Golf.
Dude, who cares? If there's people starving in our city and we have so many golf courses, we need to get our shit straight. But not even that. Think about it. Our capital used to be Flagstaff. Flagstaff is in a gorgeous place. It's
it used
an
to
amazing
be Flagstaff?
Yeah.
Wow.
And somehow we decided to move it down to Phoenix, which is within this valley that not only no cold air gets in.
Yeah.
The heat that's generated throughout the day because of the sun stays in.
Yeah.
The pollution stays in,
Yeah.
and then we decide to add a whole bunch of concrete and asphalt to it.
Yeah.
So the hottest point of the
Bring
day,
everything a few degrees.
it went to 5 o'clock because like the concrete just soaks up the heat, and then you have 90 something degree weather at 10 at night. You're just like that's the place we live in.
By the end of the afternoon, like by late afternoon, it's like hotter than midday when the sun is up there because of all the concrete and the flat surface and the surface area. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm living here. I just stuck here because I'm making money with my business.
Yeah,
and so I can't really move until I figure out a better way to make money.
I agree, and that's one of the things. Like I was thinking, even if let's say my idea is that even if I, struck rich, let's say I win the lottery and I get not even that. Let's say I get $20 million. Like my goal is to be able to spend that money on a business where the 3 or 4 of us can just focus on making content and doing things that we love to do.
Like travel.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, even if I become rich and do that, I have a feeling I have to do it here as opposed to like, what are we all going to move to a different country or a different city to do that?
No, but first of all, if you get rich like that, I would save like 3/4 of that just for traveling so that, you know what? I have a friend in Belgium, wherever. I'm going to go there for a few days, or a few weeks, and then come back. You only have to worry about food and that. I mean, again, then you have $20 million and there's people starving. Then what do you do then?
That's true. No, I would absolutely, I've thought about this for so long. I would put a portion of it into creating our ability to continue making stuff. And it would literally, like, I've had so many dreams about this and I daydream about this. Like, I have daydreams that I grab you and Ellie and I'm like, all right, I got a surprise for you guys. And we literally drive to an office that's already set up for us to make shit. And I'm like, all right, from this point on, you don't work. We just keep making shit.
This is what we do.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it's insane for me that once I win the lottery, my dream is to keep working. But like, travel sounds nice and I want to do it.
You have to do something. What are you going to just play video games, watch movies the rest of your life?
No, I want to do like produce podcasts.
Yeah, you want to create shit.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Who wouldn't? Some like people, I don't know how people are not really like, they don't.
I think everybody's creative on some level.
I think everyone's creative, exactly.
Yeah. Like, maybe our culture doesn't allow it.
I mean, what if we were? I don't think it does. What if we lived in a world where people's skills and abilities and what their passions and their need to create, they know what they want to create, and like then that's what they do for the society.
That's one of the
utopia kind of.
It's one of the theories that people have about this new automation phase that's coming in. They're saying basically with robots and bots taking over everything, does that mean that we get to have our second or third
it just
renaissance?
Means that the rich people are going to get richer and the poor people poorer.
Idealistically,
it's true, I know that's going to be the next civil war. Is like rich against poor. There's going to be a lot of poor people, but the rich people are going to have the nice weapons. Who knows how it's going to go?
I have a feeling it's going to be
a bunch of people like us going to stay in the middle.
But I have a feeling if that's the case, the rich are going to brainwash a whole bunch of poor to fight each other.
That's probably what they're doing.
That's probably what's happening right now.
I don't know.
How long have we been talking?
We're definitely over an hour.
But
I feel like the conversation started really getting good like 20 minutes ago. Or
when we started talking about politics.
Yeah. So maybe we should keep going and maybe edit something in for the intro.
Or I don't even know. We can do a longer one. Let's post a longer one, see what people think about it.
Yeah.
And not even that. We can definitely do like every few episodes.
Yeah.
Talk about current events and politics. And
dude, so down. But again, like I don't want to say I'm afraid of being too opinionated about some things.
Why? Because
first of all, I don't know who's right or wrong anymore, because we live in this place where I don't trust the media. I don't trust any reputable even journalist place. I wish I knew the words for these things.
You're fine.
So it's like I almost on purpose not trying
in a
to
fear
think
of being
about
wrong.
These things. Huh?
In a fear that you might be wrong. Like based on
no, not that. I just don't know, because I don't know. I'm trying to follow the news. I'm trying to follow this. The only thing you can really kind of like trust is if people seem genuine when they're talking on TV or on the radio. Like other than that, it's hard for me to believe anyone. Like sure, I can someone tells me something about Trump, I'm like, all right, I can tell that person is really biased. So I should take what he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Someone tells me something about Bernie Sanders,
They're
same
biased as
thing.
well. Yeah.
So I'm like, and then you get all these big channel news like Fox,
CNN.
MSNBC, and all these guys who kind of have their own bias.
Absolutely, they do.
So it's like, who the fuck do I trust? Who do I listen to? How do I get my information so I can make the right call, the right decision?
Honestly, you have to use all of them and use your own judgment because the
But then
ideal
that
way
becomes
is
to become part of the knowledgeable electorate. You have to spend like 3 hours a day just researching who said what and where and when. And you know what? I know I'm doing the best I can. I know there's people out there who are so busy working, trying to put food on their table. They don't even have time to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, how can they make the right choice?
They can't. They follow like based on whoever they see on the news most.
Exactly. And that's why Trump is on the news so much, because he knows that people don't have time. And he seems charismatic. Let's vote for him.
Yeah, he gets to say some bullshit and spend the next 24 hours on the news. Yeah. And he says everybody's their friend. But here's the thing, to go back to it. No, for you to fear about being opinionated, we should use this podcast exactly for that. Like, I hope we could get more people aside from our close friends engaging in the conversation, because if we get people to comment and let us know, like if we're wrong, let us know wrong so we can have this back and forth discussion, because that's the only way you learn is by being wrong. And then like it's like science. You put a hypothesis out there, people test it and they prove you right or wrong. And like, I feel like that's what our culture needs to become. Like, we need to get the sense of community back in just the only way which matters, which is to learn. And from learning, we get to offspring this amazing new things in the future.
But learn what though? Like
everything. Learn art, learn technology, learn politics, learn human connections.
Learn art. You can learn art.
You can learn how to create.
You can learn You can learn art history. You can learn skills.
Techniques
for the art that you want to work on. Okay, sure. But again, a lot of people are going to tell their kids like, "Hey, I've had a hard life. The only way to make it through it and be safe and eat and survive is to work hard. Don't waste your time with this."
Yeah, but those people are right. As of right now, they're right. But at the same time, we can't use that as an excuse to get away from art.
You're saying that cultivating art with the youth and everyone is going to be good.
And cultivating culture, cultivating discussion, even if it's with somebody you hate.
Yeah.
Like, have that discussion. That's one of the reasons I want to have the interview with this Simcopter guy. And I really don't know if he's up for it or not. Like he could be saying the rudest thing to you, and you just like, this guy is like at least welcoming in the channel enough that you want to talk. Like, it was funny.
He's just good at talking.
Not even that, because like a lot of people
conversationist.
Exactly. Yeah. And like last night,
he's not irritating, even though he can say things that could be pointy, you know?
Yeah, like last night somebody asked them, "Hey, what headphones do you have?" "Oh no, how much were your headphones?" Like something simple, right? A lot of people would either answer or something, and his answer was amazing. Like, you would take it as rude. He said, "Oh, you can look it up yourself on Amazon." And like you're like, immediately you'd be like, "Oh, that's such a dick." But he says it in such a positive. It's like, "Yeah, you can totally look it up on Amazon," and you're just like, "Oh, okay." like he's so welcoming to his chat and so positive, and like obviously he will put his foot down on certain shit that you're not allowed to. Like, he's like, "You can't be racist here." He's like, "If you're gonna say something bigotry or racist, that's it, you're out." But
what if we just kind of can we be guests on his program with our setup and then talk to him?
But if you're up for it, that means we have to do it at night. But I'm 100% up for it.
That's fine, but how do we make it work? We don't know enough about this software crap.
Not even that. Oh my God.
How can we both be on there as a guest?
We need headphones. Here's what we need.
And is it a lot of people or just one-on-one talks that he has?
No, he even says if you get to have a one-on-one conversation with him, he gets excited. He's like, that's what I want to run my business on or run his show on. But there's probably like 1,100, 1,200 people in his chat. So here's what we need to do.
It's a chat?
No, it's a live stream. It's a live show that he does.
It's people talking?
But text chat.
Oh, it's all text.
But he talks verbally. Like, he talks to you.
But no one else does.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay.
So here's what we need to do. I'll talk to him tonight if I can.
How is he able to answer 1,200 people at once?
He pays a lot of attention to his chat. Okay. So I'll talk to him tonight if I can. Mm-hmm. And I'll even just throw the idea in there. Either we get on a voice chat with him as he's playing and broadcasting, or we simply participate as one of the text chats.
Yeah.
And we'll say, hey, we're doing a podcast right now. This is being recorded. I hope that's okay.
How do we record? How do we record our input in the keyboard? Like, as the writing, because you says it's a chat room. So
it's a chat room. So we can either verbally say, hey, I'm asking him this.
We have to read what we're writing.
Correct. And what people say.
And we'll hear what he's saying.
Correct. But what he's saying, there's a lot of ways to do it. We can even record the audio that's coming from the computer. That's super easy. I think there's a lot of programs that do it. Or simply, every show that he does is recorded. Every show that's on Twitch is recorded. So we can go back and download that and just edit the audio in.
And just edit our questions in.
So
interesting.
For next week, we're going to find a movie to watch, right?
Or we can just keep going with politics. I'm sure some more outrageous shit's gonna happen between now and then.
All right, let's see what comes up next week.
Yeah.
So this is right now. It's the week of what's.
I mean, if there's any good movies,
week of the 11th.
If there's nothing that excites us movie wise,
we should force ourselves.
Yeah. If there's probably nothing right now.
I can't even imagine anything.
Yeah. Whatever. Like I'd rather wait until something good comes out.
Okay, so right now it's the week of the 11th, and we have one more episode to go up, which is our upstream color. It's already been up by the time you're listening.
Is there any point of saying that? Since they're gonna get this one,
it's not upstream color; it's serial. No, I'm just planning out loud in my head. Yeah. So after that goes up, that means this is next week. So the episode that we're talking about is gonna be for 2 weeks from now. Oh, you asked. Are you okay with this idea of doing it releasing it once a week? You asked why.
We should do it more often. I understand the consistency of good, but that only works when we have a bigger audience. Right now,
so as of right now, just get it up.
Yeah, get it up right now, just to get as many people interested as possible.
Okay.
And then once we have a number that's relatively good for a podcast, which I don't even know what that number is
then
yet.
Put a structure in.
Yeah, it might take us like 8 years for all we care. But then we can release it weekly. And, and could you imagine down the road if you make good money doing that? You do a live thing like a radio on the internet.
I know.
Meet up every single day for the same hour or two.
I know.
What Sarah was talking about, Adam Carolla and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know if we would ever get to that level because that level of outrageousness, I don't feel comfortable with.
Yeah, me neither. But unless we get paid the big bucks and we get to travel around, again, if we get successful by some kind of miracle, then I want to be able to take this on the road anywhere we want. Yeah. I don't want to be stuck to one place. Okay. Being stuck to one place is going to be helpful as we're trying to figure it out. So we don't have much time during our days. Go to the room, press record, get out an hour later. We have something solid. You know what Sar was telling me though, and he's really paying attention to these things. He's heard a podcast. Or an article, I don't know what it was. He read somewhere from some good source that the podcasting world is still in its infancy.
Yeah, I heard that last week too.
So we can literally take it anywhere we want.
Yeah,
we have to be creative and do something very different. How do we do that? I don't know. I don't think it's about the video and added to the podcast. I think it's literally good conversations. But again, a lot of podcasts out there are good conversation. Who's gonna take the podcast to the next level? What do people want? What do people want to listen to?
I think it might be highly produced shows, but the reason I always want to do video and we have to do it is simply because we have a viewer base that's audio. We can easily have a viewer base that's video as well. And doing video, and hopefully if we can do it live.
But it's boring to watch people, unless you really produce.
It's boring for you, but for a lot of us, it's totally fine.
People love watching people talk.
Yeah.
People watching.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, but the same people every week.
Yeah, absolutely. If that person is entertaining enough for you to watch, hell yeah. Here's the thing. You're not going to watch it. Who cares?
Right.
You're not that person.
Yeah.
So there's 7 billion people out there. Maybe 2 of them will want to watch.
Give 0 Fs as you're doing that, because if the minute you start being self-conscious, then you're not interesting anymore.
Yeah. Dude, here's the thing. I was self-conscious. I started video game streaming sometime last year. I think I started doing it more when I lost my job because of my beard. Mm-hmm. It's so retarded. But honestly, a week into it, I completely stopped giving a fuck. Yeah. I was at this point, I'm putting myself out there for 0 up to 1 million people to see me. Yeah. And it's too late. I've already been out there. Yeah. This is me. Deal with me. Yeah. And I might become better over time. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's exactly what our podcast needs to be. And we need to be as well.
Yeah. I like doing this. But I wish we could go in a room and press record.
I know. And honestly, I feel bad that we're doing it in a room that's for you guys.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I want this room to be us recording this summer. I don't want to have this set up here and stuff. But that's why if we could start doing it at my house or your house, even, or at a restaurant, whatever.
I like the restaurant.
If we can start getting in touch with, like, I don't know, maybe even people at, like, you know, the place we go to all the time, Half Moon.
No.
We used to go to there. I know we're going to change, but let's say, they know us by now, you know, and then we'd be like, hey, can we just, whenever we want to have that corner, like, you know, we would come when it's not busy. We just want to do a podcast here sometimes, once in a while.
Yeah, but let's not do it at Half Moon.
No, not Half Moon, but like,
I agree.
mean, that sushi plate would be great.
Yeah. And especially during happy hour. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, because it wasn't busy, like one or two
sit
other.
down, probably order something as we were setting up our stuff.
Oh, that would be so great.
We'll literally only have our computers and the mics in this thing.
That would be so great.
And then we can really like eat, drink. Oh, this is delicious.
Yeah. Dude, I really think we should do that soon.
And, you know, maybe that's the next thing. Like, that's a different thing. Like, I don't really listen to podcasts like you or Sora do. Is this something people do? Do they go set up their stuff at a restaurant?
I don't. Here's the thing. There's so many podcasts out there. They may, but I don't. The ones I listen to, they don't.
Why
do that.
can they say it's still in its infancy? Who said that? Like, why?
I don't know who I heard it from, but it's true. It's still in the point.
The podcasting is like audio content. That's not music. Period. Right. That's
Correct.
all it is.
It could be. It could have music too.
Because radio, you listen to NPR. I listen to NPR during the day sometimes. You know, it's the same thing. They're just live podcasts that come out same hour.
That's all. It's on-demand radio. Think about it that way.
It's radio. It's broadcasting.
Yeah.
Period.
Because the only thing it's not broadcasting over
say,
radio channels.
Right, but why did someone say it's in its infancy then?
Because
what does that mean?
It's a new medium that's being broadcasted over online.
But it's not a new medium if the radio's been around for decades.
But here's the thing: we say radio because it's talk audio, but radio itself is a radio technology, like radio waves that are sending it.
Yeah.
So
so it's the internet now.
Correct. It's the internet, and B, like, it doesn't have to be about the money, but obviously, like, there's attraction that people want to listen to it. They still haven't figured out the best way to do it. Like I was talking about, the technology of podcasting, it's still fairly old. Like, just imagine, like.
But it's not, dude. Get microphones. You got preamps.
No, I'm saying, like,
people talking. Like,
the delivery method of it is pretty old.
Okay.
Like, just think about it.
So
like,
people getting in their houses, people getting it and enjoying the content
correct.
is new because the internet.
And like
but
you
again,
said, the next big thing hasn't happened yet.
It's not that new. It's 10 years old now.
Like, just when Serial, when it became the fastest growing thing, that was new. To do a true crime thing that's engaging, that was new.
And I believe the reality thing, like, podcast in the making, for example, is cool. Like, that's what we're doing, but I'm sure a lot of people are doing.
Yeah, they have done that. But it's a lot of things with the personality. But God, what was I gonna say?
Fuck. I did have an idea for my band though. Like,
what?
For like music, bands. Like, I was talking to someone else from another room. His name is Lev, really cool guy. We agree on a lot of things. Like, content is the most important thing.
Yeah.
People don't have the attention span anymore to listen to the whole hour-long album. So now bands, what the successful bands are doing, well, not the old bands like U2 and all these older guys. No, they still have such traction that they put a CD out, everybody's going to buy it. But newer bands trying to make it. Here's a single, people love it. People who wait until the next single comes out, and then they do that 10 times, and then maybe they release a CD with all the singles on it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking with Sorrow the other day, like, how cool would it be if this summer we record a few really nice jams, and then we also record us interviewing ourselves about the band and asking questions like, oh, so how long have we been a band, and blah, 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 and then put that into just a 10-minute thing with cool music that's all us jamming and some interviews within each other, and then put that out to people. That'd be a new thing, right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd love to do that.
Why, dude? If
because
this thing hasn't taught you
other
anything,
people on board with that idea, and sometimes I'm not really good at explaining my ideas.
One thing with your band is your 3 other people. Is this it? Like, are you guys gonna stick with it? Is it gonna change? Because I know you changed your violin lady. I thought.
No, she's part of the band.
Oh, she's still part of the band.
The core is us 4, and Michael, who's a sax, but he's gonna leave in a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah, he's planning to leave this place. He doesn't like Phoenix.
Okay.
Just like what we talked about earlier.
Good for him.
So, yeah, it's just, lately it's been great jamming and stuff. Like, we're getting better at music, but we really want to start making good money next wedding season.
Okay.
I mean, we're charging like 12 to 15.
You're the
bucks
wedding
a
singer.
wedding.
Oh,
It's good,
yeah.
good money.
But what if people are getting married less and less, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. But there's not just weddings. We could be getting corporate
Funerals.
events. Funerals. John was a great man. Let us play. I Will Survive.
Dude, one thing I just remember what I was going to say. With YouTube's video game streaming site, I think it's just their live streaming technology.
I want popcorn.
Oh, dude, I have popcorn at home. I'm excited. Anyway, so with their technology, what's really cool, the live stats tell you when your engagement goes up and comes down, and like when people talk and when people leave, like that kind of stuff could be really amazing for a podcast.
Yeah.
Like
we should totally get on that to see like, okay, no one gives a shit when we talk about snails,
exactly,
but everybody loves it when we talk about Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I want to eventually get to the point that we can do this live on YouTube. Yeah. Simply to see that. Simply to see when we get viewers.
Only YouTube offers you this?
Yeah.
I mean, SoundCloud is kind of cool.
It has stats, and it has like
I'm sure
talks
iTunes
about
got massive stats.
No,
too. No,
dude. We're on iTunes. I can't find stats anywhere. The only stat that I see on there is popularity, which is crazy and it's vague. And
what if we just keep doing like as the elections are progressing? What if we just stay political? Because we'll get a lot of views that way. A lot. Like
you think
a lot
so?
of people will listen.
I would listen, but like, are we anyway?
We're not qualified, but no one the fuck is. Like again, like everybody with
there
bias,
are some people that
no one's qualified.
There's a couple of podcasts that I listen to that these people are super qualified. Like the Pollsters and 538. 538 is made by Nate Silver.
By really qualified, you mean they really research their shit every day for hours before they talk.
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. But we can start it like, hey, we don't know much about politics, but we're just regular people, and this is our thoughts on what we're seeing happening.
Yeah, that's why category is society and culture now, as opposed to film and entertainment.
No, we should do this again. Like start straight up with what Trump do this week,
Yeah, fucking Trump. There's a Trump podcast, by the way.
I'm sure there's many.
Once we're done here, I'm gonna teach you how to download Pocket Cast and get on the.
Well, I know, but I don't have my Google card with me because I got a gift card when I bought my Nexus 5X, which I don't like that much.
You know what's funny? I'm looking at these covers. Our cover is not so bad.
Our cover is great. I love it.
Damn.
We have good ideas together.
Yeah. Let's make babies together.
Okay. They'll be bald and beardy.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. We're going to try to tag this as good as we can because I know if we put this up like this, like episode 8, no subject, we're not going to get any listens.
Yeah,
we have to say Trump, we have to say Sanders, we have to say politics, we have to say everything we talked about.
And as much as I gave Ali so much shit about hashtagging, we have to hashtag now.
It's so important.
So I'll have to listen to the last episode and hashtag the shit out of that when we upload it and put tags
I don't
all
even
over.
think the title is as important as the hashtags I follow.
Probably because that's how your search works and stuff. Dude, just simply getting our name to show up in a Google search is proving to be nearly impossible for
Remy and Nima or Nima and Remy? Really?
No, Steadiocast.
Oh, yeah, Steadiocast.
Like, we have 2 results right now.
Yeah, but what does that mean, 2 results?
Like, Google brings up 2 results when you search for Steadiocast.
When you
like, as opposed to a full page of things.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even the right things. I wanted to bring up, like, it brings up iTunes, which is great because iTunes is our number 1. It brings up our website, which is also great. But I wanted to bring up SoundCloud. We'll figure out a way for it to bring up SoundCloud. And that's people build their whole business with search engine optimization. But we'll figure it out. But thank you everybody for listening. If you are still listening after this long talk.
Thank you so much. That was ranting. I really like talking about politics, even though it's the scariest thing.
But this is exactly this is the kind of shit that we talk about normally. Yeah. So we got to figure out a way to bring it into the podcast.
We have to give 0 fucks.
Yeah. But thank you for listening. Please rate, follow, subscribe in any way you can, leave comments, engage in the conversation. We're on Twitter at Steadiocast. We're on the website at steadio.com/podcasts. We're on SoundCloud and Instagram, everything Steadiocast. Do some searches so they can finally show up on Google and, find us that way. But engage with us. We're just 2 bald dudes.
As far as now, it's we're just 2 bald dude.
Completely bald. We're completely shaven all the way through the body. No, we have... Dude, aside from our balding heads, we have a lot of hair. A considerable amount of hair.
and we record every single podcast naked.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Also, what was I gonna say?
You're pointing at a wall.
I know I'm pointing at a wall. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man,
Forgot.
It might have been really good.
I know it probably was, but maybe for next time. Thanks. I'm Remy.
I'm Nima.
Bye.